What's going on, Dolph fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I have a couple of my quick hit scouting report videos to do for you today. There will be two in total. I have two more that I need to do for the week. It's going to be the Jacksonville game, which is the one that I am doing right now. Later on today, I will be doing the Tennessee Titans and the New York Jets game, which, as we all already know, had a pretty surprise ending to it. So that will be coming later. But for right now, Jacksonville. So look, it's pretty simple when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a game that the Dolphins absolutely should win. There really is no excuse because the Jags, not only are they 0-4, but they're a young rebuilding team. Trevor Lawrence is a rookie and he's had plenty of his struggles. Urban Meyer is a rookie head coach in the NFL and he's had his struggles, let's just say, both on and off the field. And so they're kind of in a mess right now. I do think that, if I'm keeping it real, I do think that the Jags, because I've watched all of their games, and this is kind of the point of doing these videos, I do think that they have, much like the Jets actually, have improved little by little each week. But again, it's still a game that they should absolutely win. We do have to travel to London, so there is that. And but Tua will be back. He's expected to be back. So, you know, they absolutely should win. I gotta say though, they better not lose because it's definite. Look, we expect that they're gonna lose to the Bucs this weekend, you know, and drop to 1-4. And if they have any hope to make the playoffs, there's not they cannot lose to a team like Jacksonville. But, you know, unfortunately, you just never know, especially with the way that this team is performing. And when we get to the league standings, you'll actually see that in a lot of categories, they are beating us. Mostly just on offense. There's only one category defensively that they're beating us in as of right now. But we will talk about that when we get there. So let's go ahead and get into this. They just lost to the Bengals, who are 3-1 on the season as of right now. But it obviously was a close game, 24-21. And this is part of why I'm saying they have been, you know, incrementally improving, because this was their closest game of the season. And this is the one that they actually, when you watch it, they actually had a decent chance to come away with the victory. They just couldn't quite hold on. So I'm not actually sure off the top of my head who they play this week, but it will be interesting to see how that pans out. But in any case, they did lose this game 24-21 and dropped to 0-4 on the season. Let's take a look at these statistics. So Jacksonville had 341 total yards. They gave up 420. Jacksonville had 202 through the air and gave up 343. They had 139 on the ground, though, and gave up only 78. They had 6.2 yards per play, but gave up 7.6. Obviously, that's not good. Neither team had a fumble or an interception. Both teams let up only a single sack. Jacksonville was 50% on third downs and gave up 55%, though. There's actually two categories that they beat us in on defense, but we'll get to that. Anyway, let's see. Time of possession, they had the ball 28-45, whereas Cincy had it for 31-15. Jacksonville only had 2 penalties, though, and the Bengals had 6. Okay, so let's flip up to the top. Okay, so we have Joe Burrow. They allowed Joe Burrow to go 25 for 32, 348, and 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon led the way in rushing. He was pretty much their entire rushing attack. 16 rushes, 67 yards, a touchdown, and a 4-2. Receiving, Tyler Boyd led the way, 9 for 11 and a $118. CJ Uzomah, 5 of 6 for 95 and 2 scores. Jamar Chase, 6 of 9 for 77. And hey, you got to keep it real. Jamar Chase has been coming on. He had a lot of drops and stuff in the preseason, but he's done a lot better now that he's gotten to the regular season. He's actually performing for them. And I don't think the comparisons between him and Waddle are fair, especially because the Dolphins don't apparently know how to use Waddle. And at least the Bengals seem to know how to use Chase. They have him go down the field a lot, and he's making a lot of those catches. So anyway, Trenton Irwin had 1 for 25, Auden Tate 1 for 18, and Samaje Perine 1 for 15. And of course, we will take a quick dip down the list so you can see the rest of these statistics if you care. And then we will pop back up to the top so we can look at a closer look at the Jags. So in this game, Trevor Lawrence was 17 for 24, 204, no touchdowns or interceptions. James Robinson had 18 rushes for 78 yards, 2 scores, and a 4-3. Trevor Lawrence added in 8 rushes, 36 yards, and a touchdown with a 4-5. And overall, he had a decent day. Jamal Agnew, 1 for 11. Laviska Shenault, 1 for 11. And yeah, that's it there. Receiving, Laviska Shenault led the way. 6 of 7 for 99. Dan Arnold, 2 of 2, 29. Jamal Agnew, 1 for 27. Marvin Jones, 3 of 3 for 24. And, of course, a quick dip down the list of the rest of the statistics, so that way you can check them out if you so choose. I know some people like the kicking game. And then we will swap over to the league standings. And, again, you know, I will show you the Dolphins league standings at the very end, but I will go ahead and let you know that in every single offensive category, the Jaguars do beat us. Total yards, they have 1,286, which is 23rd. Same for the yards per game with 321.5. They're 23rd in the league. They're 28th in total in passing with 873 total, 218.3 per game. They're 15th in total rushing with 449, but they're 13th in rushing yards per game. This obviously includes the first week 5 matchup that just got played on Thursday, so that changes things up a little bit. But they have 112.3 rushing yards per game, which is 13th. Scoring, on the other hand, though, or with scoring, they are 26th in the league, which is still better than us. Because obviously, you know, we're only scoring 15.5 points per game, but they're 26th, and with ties included 19th with 74 total and an 18.5 clip per game. Defensively, I'll let you know the statistics that they beat us in here. They beat us in rushing yards per game with their 13th overall at 106.3, and they beat us in third down percentage. They're still giving up a good amount with 40%, which is 17th in the league. I forgot to add in what they are with ties. That's my bad. But whatever. They have 40%, and obviously we're giving up like 54 point something percent. So they do beat us in 2 statistical. And, you know, when it comes to rushing yards, obviously you know, our rushing attack isn't very good. So, you know, that'll be interesting to see too. But for the rest of it, defensively, we do beat them in the rest of the categories defensively. And, you know, when it comes to overall yards per game, they're giving up 418.5, which is 30th. Passing per game, it's 320.8, which is 29th. Let's see, points per game, 28.8, which is 27th. They only have 1 takeaway on the season, which is currently 32nd. But with ties, it's 11th. 1 interception, which is 30th. With ties, it's 7th. 0 fumbles, which is 32nd. With ties, it is 6th. Which is, you know, at the bottom of the fucking... That's as far as the ties go, obviously, because they're dead last in the league on the list. Sacks, they have 5, which is 32nd, tied for 11th. Same thing applies there. Passes defense, they have 10, which is 30th, tied for 14th. And then I told you third down, but I forgot to put in what they were tie-wise, with ties included. So, oops. But it doesn't really matter. They, you know, are significantly better than we are, unfortunately. But anyway, and that is an important category on defense. So, you know, and like I said, every offensive statistical category that I showed you, they are better than us because, as you see, we are just not very good and have not been to this season. So we'll see how that plays out. But, you know, Trevor Lawrence has turned the ball over quite a bit, so that will certainly be a key to the game. We will have to get turnovers, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And so here are the Dolphins offensive league standings and, of course, the defensive league standings, so you can take a look at that. And that is how I will wrap this quick hit scouting report video for the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 4. And with that, I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at DillonTartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.